Hello, ladies. This is your soulmate speaking.
You freaking killed it. That was better than anything I thought of.
My number is 402. Hit me up. I live at Omaha, Nebraska, 68135. Come visit me.
Is that for real? Is that all legit information?
My credit card... No, I'm just kidding.
My social security number is...
I don't even have that memorized yet. I should probably get that memorized.
And mother's... Hey, can we real quick get first pet and mother's maiden name while we're at it?
Yeah. I never had a pet.
Dang it, how are you even a real person then?
I'm not. The government is pretty sure I do not exist.
I'm pretty sure you don't exist. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 4 of Toon In. This is the show where we review and talk about different cartoons that we firmly believe are for all ages. As we think that families should be able to get together and watch something that is appropriate for little kids and also not like degrading to the parents or the kids. I think a lot of modern cartoons they act like kids are stupid. I think kids are capable of understanding a lot more than the shows act like they can.
Yeah.
I'm your host. My name is Marcus Nip, and I am joined by my co-host,
Pablo Fernandez.
Karsten Miller.
You suck.
I've been told that a lot of times. Much like they say make like a vacuum and suck.
That joke really sucked.
Freaking Kirby'd it.
Yeah.
I'm out. That's the last thing I got.
I mean, I can make more jokes like that, but I can't.
So, what show are we talking about?
We are talking about The Dragon Prince.
The Dragon Prince,
a Netflix original.
So, the way the show is working, we are doing 2 episodes at a time, going through an entire season of a TV show. So, we will do 1 season of show, 2 episodes at a time, and then move on. This episode of our show, episode 4 of Toon In, we are going to be going over episodes 7 and 8 of The Dragon Prince. So, it was a Netflix original, so all of the episodes, because I'm trying to get pretty good at this, and do it professionally.
Pretty good.
So, say when it was released, it's a Netflix show, so all the episodes in season 1 were released the 14th of September 2018.
Yeah.
Episode 7 is called The Dagger and the Wolf. Karsten, what were your thoughts of this episode?
My thoughts? Definitely had a lot more substance to it than the past episodes. The show's, in my opinion, been on like an uphill climb. Like, each episode is better than the last. Especially after, what was it, episode...
I think episode 4 was the one where, like, nothing happened.
Yeah, the one where they were in the boats and they had that whole water fiasco. That was... Everything's better after that.
Yes.
But yeah.
I think the show goes very well. Karsten, can you give us... Here's the thing. I don't have a ton of notes on this episode. So
I got like a page and a half.
Fill in any gaps that I miss. I'm going to try to talk about this episode, though.
Awesome. Do it.
So, the egg is still dying.
Like me.
Like all of us, you know? That's a little thing we like to do here on Toon In also is, besides bring families together, is to constantly remind you of your mortality. So the egg is still dying, and they're quickening the pace to get to Zadia, and they come across a town that they choose to stop in for some reason.
Little village. The only problem is...
she's an elf.
Yeah, Rayla's an elf, so...
So they, find a disguise for her. I think they give her a glove. Or she puts on gloves and she puts a hood up and tries to go through...
Because I don't think we mentioned it before. The elves only have 3 fingers and a thumb. They don't have 4 fingers and a thumb. So that's kind of a dead giveaway. And...
They have horns and elf ears.
Yeah.
So, like, I think the horns... I don't know if we talked about this yet. Horns are a really nice touch, and I think they're drawn really well. Like...
Yeah.
They complete the look of the elves in a really neat way.
They're not distracting.
I think it's special. Yeah, they look... They're horns, which you usually think makes like a cumbersome look, but the elves look super, super sleek, and it's like another clear defining feature of elves as opposed to humans.
And we're not talking about like big bull horns. We're talking about like little like...
Yeah, like...
almost like more like nubs.
Yeah, I was trying to liken it to another animal. Kind of like a goat horn. Sort of.
No, except goat horns are still pretty big.
Yeah, like smaller than that, but shaped like that.
Like a kid horn. Like the horn on a kid.
Yeah, because, you know, like, freaking my nephew Chuck just has a lot of horns on him. as a joke, like a human kid I pretended like instead of a goat kid.
If you explain it, it's no longer funny.
Nope, makes it funnier. So they go there and they see that there's a guy who has a special sword made by sun elves, right? Sun dragon?
I don't think they explained how it was made, but
no, it's sun dragon elves or something like that, or sun elves.
It was forged in the sun, or something
by
like that.
some special type of elf. Because they're like we're doing moon shadow elves, right? Is like what Rayla is. It was a sun, some kind of elf. I don't remember the onomatopoeia for it, but
yeah, onomatopoeia is.
No, shut up.
You used the word wrong.
No, I used it correctly. Okay, Karsten, real quick. This is another little bit we like to do where Marcus explains the way that he uses the words. Karsten, if you speak with confidence and don't stumble over any big word you use, it doesn't matter what you say, really. People assume they'll fill in context for you.
Oh, so it makes you sound more photosynthesis.
Yes, exactly like that.
Ah, okay, I got you.
Yeah, so, real quick, thanks for trying to put me on blast on the freaking internet. I don't know what's up with, like, freaking just people trying to, like, it's not cyber... I have a question. If you make fun of me, oh, man, we're really getting off the rails here. We're not even... We're not even halfway through the first episode we're talking about. If you make fun of me on this show, is that cyberbullying?
No, because we're not doing it through the internet.
So hold on. If I listen to the episode back after it gets posted, and then my feelings get hurt, is that cyberbullying?
I think you're just overthinking it, dude. You've taken a concept, and then you've just blown it so out of proportion, and like taken it so out of context that like it's almost not even the same thing anymore.
So you're trying to say that I'm dumb, Karsten? I'm feeling pretty cyberbullied right now, to be honest with you.
No, cyberbullying would be if I went into the comments on this episode afterwards using my alternate YouTube account and just started calling you names and saying you suck and stuff like that. That would be cyberbullying.
Oh, so you mean like what everybody does to PewDiePie?
But it doesn't count if you're famous. Because if you're famous, then it doesn't matter how many haters you have, because you've got money.
That's a good point. I think that okay, we're completely
who takes a 9-year-old's word? Like, who actually like takes a 9-year-old seriously?
Apparently PewDiePie, because freaking whatever the freaking masses say, he has to apologize for all the time.
It's so that he can make more money, because if he doesn't apologize, YouTube will just keep demonetizing him. Meme review.
Let's rate this episode. And by rate this episode, I mean freaking get through the plot of it at least. Can we just please get through the plot?
So after we get 15 seconds into the episode, then this happens.
So they see the guy's special sword, and it can supposedly cut through anything.
Literally anything.
And they all get the idea that Rayla needs to get a hold of that sword somehow, because she still has that bandage getting tighter and tighter and tighter till her hand, I guess, eventually falls off, because she's not killing Ezra.
Ezran.
Man, I freaking have never seen Star Wars Rebels, and I keep calling the kid Ezra. Which is, speaking of Star Wars Rebels, though, we should do that show at some point.
Definitely.
So, I don't remember what Callum and Ez do in this episode.
You don't?
All.
Okay, well, I got it right here in my half page of notes.
I know
I actually paid attention this time.
I know that Rayla kind of spends the whole time trying to get that sword. She gets it, and it doesn't work. Right. And then also gets kind of found out as an elf, and they have to run away. Yeah.
Okay, so that was a very basic overview of the entire episode from Rayla's perspective, but much more happened in that episode.
Yes, I don't remember any of that.
Maybe because you're just bad at these things.
Maybe it's because I hate you.
That's a fair assessment. I wouldn't blame you. So Callum and Ezran, through this entire episode, they have the egg, and they're trying to, basically, they want to see if they can find anyone who can help the egg since it's dying. So they stumble upon this little tavern-like place that's like an old-timey veterinarian. And they decide that they could probably see if this guy could help them. So they go in there, and they're being all cautious at first because they don't know if they can trust the guy. But eventually it gets to the point where he's just like, yo, dog, you gotta, like, tell me what's happening so that I can help you because you're making absolutely no sense.
It was actually, I thought it was really weird because, they have been doing this weird fantasy world, and the guy kind of literally looks at him and just like, hey, yo, dog. And I was like, well, he said yo, dog? I was being the worst, sorry. I threw off your flow and everything.
Haven't we talked about, well, I haven't, but haven't you talked about stealing thunder already?
Yeah, we rated it. It's a good saying and a bad thing to happen to you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just watch your back, because it's coming back to haunt you. So...
Did you just threaten me?
Perhaps.
Man,
Sleep with one eye open.
I'm getting real life bullied, I think.
You might wake up without your teeth tomorrow.
I'm gonna wake up underwater. What the?
If you wake up. So Callum and Ezran are just like, okay, fine. We could probably trust you. So they pull the egg out of the backpack, and
they make up an omelet, and then it's the end of that. I'm so sorry.
But hey, that was one dang good omelet.
I'm super stupid. Please keep going. I promise I'm gonna quit interrupting.
No, it's okay. I probably did it to you a whole bunch last time. So this veterinarian guy, he's just like, dude, that's a dragon egg. Those are like not supposed to exist anymore. How'd you get this? So they kind of explain where they got the egg. And he's just like, okay, cool story. I can't help you with this. It's out of my pay grade. I don't know how to deal with these things because they're magical creatures, not real creatures. But I do know someone who can help you. So this veterinarian guy takes Ezran and Callum to this little girl who's got this giant wolf thing.
It's just a wolf, but it is freaking huge.
It is enormous. It's like a timber wolf or something like that.
Think like the Great Wolf Lodge size, but not a building, and not that big.
It is the Great Wolf Lodge of the... It is what... So, like, say a regular wolf is Coco Keys.
Is the Great Wolf Lodge.
This wolf is the Great Wolf Lodge.
That's such a good analogy, dang it.
I have my moments, dude. I'm not completely useless.
Freaking, I don't care. I honestly don't care if we say anything else that super sucks or is stupid on the show ever again. You made up for it with that super good analogy.
Okay.
We reached that's the peak of the show. The peak of the show.
Might as well just quit where we're headed. That's the end of the episode, guys. Bye.
It's the end of the episode and the show. We're never doing another one.
It was good while it lasted.
Bye. Okay, keep going.
And this little girl, her name is Ellis. The wolf's name is Ava, which I kind of found it a little odd that they gave the wolf a human name. But hey, what person doesn't name their dog a human name except for Spot?
My dog's name is Woof.
You don't actually want to say your dog's name on camera?
No, it's Whitaker.
That's a human name.
I was gonna make a joke about how my dog didn't have a human name, but he does. Was essentially the problem I ran into. So thanks for putting me on blast on the internet.
Yeah. You just can't win this episode, dude.
Freaking cyberbullying, dog.
Yeah, I'm all about that life. I was the bullied, but now I'm the bully. Okay. So, this little girl is just like, yo, so this dog used to have 3 legs, because it got frostbite. She basically just explains how she found the dog. She found the wolf in the woods a long time ago, and it was when it was just a puppy, and it was like freezing to death. So she takes it home, and then finds out that one of its front legs has to be amputated because it's frozen. And then her parents decide that this dog is too much of a hassle to take care of. So they're just like, okay, we're going to have to like leave it in the forest to die. But she's just like, no, I'm not going to let you do that. So she runs off crying into the woods, climbs up a mountain by herself with this dog in the middle of a blizzard, and gets to the top of the mountain and finds this.
What a little brat.
Reminds me of how my brother disappeared.
I thought you just had to dunk on your brother and be like, it reminds me of my brother and how he's a brat. I was like, whoa, Karsten, chill. And then you went way darker with your joke.
No.
Shoot.
You see, it's not polite to like it's not polite to dunk on the dead.
Hey, question.
Yeah?
So if you make fun of Zach on this show, is that cyberbullying?
Yeah. Because it's through the internet. He's not here with me in person.
Okay, cool. I got it. Sorry.
Yeah, because like what I'm doing to you is just regular old bullying.
It's it's just bullying.
Yeah, it's just straight up bullying. Which is not okay, kids. I do not condone bullying.
But for you adults,
go ahead. Do it all you want. Fair game.
Free country. Last time I checked. Last time I was scrolling through Donnie T's Twitter, it's a free country. Okay,
yeah.
Keep going.
And she gets to the top of this mountain, and there's this magical entity up at the top of the mountain. It's like some magical healer, a miracle healer, and this magical healer gives the dog its leg back, and they make their way back down the mountain, and all's well. So this little girl, Ellis, is just like, yo, I could like take you guys up to the... I don't know why everyone's talking like gangster. Yo, dog, I could like
For
take you.
real.
I could like take you up to the tippity top of this mountain. We can like get you the good stuff. Get your wig all better.
You gotta be careful though. Popo's out there in for a freaking dime, dog. A dime.
Okay. So Ellis and Ava agree to take everyone up to the top of the mountain, and then we cut over to Claudia and Soren, who are on a quest to find the supplies to make a potion or a spell, to make a spell that they can use to track Ezran and Callum. Okay. Where is it?
He lost his notes.
No, I was just making sure I didn't miss something. I guess I didn't. Where did I put it?
If I remember correctly, the next 3 episodes are all very much like essentially a 3-parter.
Yeah.
Like kind of like one ends and then the next one like literally picks up like exactly where it left off essentially.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So one thing I forgot to mention, I found it.
Hey, Karsten,
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah. If only my notes were more organized. So, earlier in the episode, about halfway through that whole village fiasco, it cuts over to Soren and Claudia, who are on their mission to find the princes and the egg. And they're trying to find something that's linked to anyone in that group so that they can use it for a tracking spell. And they've managed to find Rayla's braid.
Remember when I said that braid was going to be a plot point later on?
Yeah.
Freaking did say that.
I knew it was super important. That's why I took time out of this podcast to look for that specific line in the notes to make sure I didn't miss it.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, they find the braid pinned to the tree with an arrow, and they're just like, oh, sweet, this'll work. And then they just continue their quest to find the different ingredients needed for the spell. And they realize the last thing they need is on the highest mountain in Zadia.
So they start their journey to there.
Yeah. And then Ezran, Callum, and Rayla get chased out of the village by a whole bunch of racist bigots.
Freaking, so, like, that one, see, that one kind of triggered...
Lives matter.
No, see, that one kind of triggered me, because I was like, hey, yo, thanks to freaking Donnie T, that's just real life for us right now.
Chasing all those elves out
It's
of
just
the land.
It's just chasing people out of our country with bigotry, and, like, that triggered real life, Marcus.
Especially those people with the big pointy ears.
Okay, real quick, let's freaking do episode 8 so we can just finish this one.
Okay, ready? Speedrun, go.
Okay, this is a speedrun strategy, where, so essentially what you want to do, if you hug the left wall the whole time, you get a little bit of a speed boost. It only saves like 3 frames, but, this is the best way to do it, and of course this is, 80% glitchless.
Dude, we're talking about a TV show.
Oh.
I meant speedrun the notes.
A speedrun this, so, real quick. Oh, dang it, my notes just, okay, there we go. Episode 8 is called Curse
Caldera.
Dang it. Someday I'm going to learn to read, I promise, Mom.
It's okay.
And this is written by the creators, Aaron's Asher's, we can't say that still, and Justin Richmond.
Yes.
I mean, here's the thing, this is spoilers for, like, the rest of this show. They just climb the mountain. They just climb the mountain to go get to the witch doctor person, and they just keep, and then Claudia and Soren climb the mountain some too. Oh, but it's a different mountain, so they can go do their magic spell. And then the freaking Jafar guy, what's his name?
Viren.
Viren does some kind of weird curse on the elf.
And it's actually really cool.
And freaking scary as balls.
I didn't think it was scary, because I'm not a little baby.
Anyway, that's the rest of, like, okay, hey guys, spoilers for episode 5 of Toon In, but freaking, like, that's it. Like, that's what happens. Like, there's like a little bit, so we can just say, hey, they're climbing the mountain still, and then give you the ending to the show.
But, like, it's so much more interesting than that, and there's so many details that you're glossing over just saying that. Like, little things that actually
are actually really neat. Like, no, Karsten was not lying when he said that, like, each of these episodes just leading up to the end get better. It is very true.
Just like our protagonists are climbing up the mountain, the show is also on an upward incline.
It's metaphors.
Boom.
Analogy?
Mind blown.
It's foreshadowing for the show. Okay, keep going.
Okay, so the episode, The Cursed Caldera, opens up with our main group running up the mountain. But surprise, a new member has joined your party. And now we got Ava and Ellis helping the main 3 characters take the egg up the mountain. And so one of the things that they make really clear, though, that Ellis makes really clear at the beginning of the episode is going up this mountain isn't going to be easy. It's supposedly like this super cursed mountain, and there's monsters of she says indescribable terrors. As soon as night falls, there are going to be indescribable terrors on the mountain, and it's going to be super scary.
They also start to talk about how they
don't mention that yet.
Dang it.
Come on. Hold your horses.
That's the last episode then?
No, it's the end of this one.
Okay.
I think. No, that's the last one.
Crazy. Could have sworn it was this one. Dang it. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the next episode.
I apparently don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, it's been
a while. We got 4 minutes, Karsten.
Okay, so they're walking up the mountain, and then Callum and Rayla figure out the incomplete lightning spell. Turns out he knew what it was the whole time. He just didn't have the right context to, complete the spell.
Yes, I remember that, because it was freaking tight. The first time he shoots lightning is sick as heck.
It was pretty cool. He learned a new spell, upgraded his skill tree. It was great.
He got that, and he was like, oh, heck yeah, dude.
Level up.
He did the weird WoW dance when you level up. He dinged level 3. Mm-hmm. New spell. Lightning.
So then we cut over to Jafar in the dungeon, and he's interrogating that elf because he hasn't cast the spell yet. Marcus just ruined that.
No, I said that he does it in this one, right?
No, you said it happened in the last episode, but it happened.
No, I said besides that, the only thing that happens is that they climb the mountains.
Okay, so you're talking about the last 3 episodes.
Yes, the last 3 episodes are just them climbing the mountain, and then this.
All right, so yeah, he's in the dungeon interrogating the elf, but the elf's just like, I'd rather die than tell you anything.
Stupid idiot.
Yeah,
he says that.
He does.
He doesn't.
So then Jafar is just like, here, how about have some food and drink? You're probably hungry.
And he refuses to eat and drink.
Yeah.
He says, no.
Mm-hmm. And then Jafar brings in the magic mirror that they've been trying to figure out that he's been trying to figure out this whole series, because he can't get this magic mirror to work. So he's like, maybe the elf will know.
And they imply that they found it in the raid where they got the dragon egg. So it was in the dragon's lair. So he's like, it has to be super powerful or something, because the dragon was protecting it.
Mm-hmm. So they bring it in, and the elf is just like, that thing is terrifying. You have absolutely no idea what you're going to unleash on the land if you use this. It's pretty scary.
And then he says, I have the high ground.
Don't try it.
And then he says, if you strike me down, I will become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
And then Jafar tries to bribe the imprisoned elf by offering him his freedom. He says, listen, if you just tell me what all this is, I'll just let you go. I'll let you walk out of here scot-free. Your name will be Scott.
You're going to change your name to Scott.
And you will be free. I will grant you your freedom.
Stupid joke.
And that interpreter guy, who's also locked up in the dungeon, is like listening, and he's like, oh crap, what's going on? This Jafar guy is bad news. And then we cut back to...
Which, it's funny that he just now realized that, because he's been in prison for several days now. Unjustly.
Yeah, false imprisonment, dude. That's a violation of his 4th Amendment right. Just kidding. He's not an American citizen, so he doesn't have rights.
It's just that Donnie T, it's just real life. I'm getting real life triggered again by this cartoon show.
Okay, but think about it this way. If Donnie T were there, then the elves would have never gotten in, because the wall would be so much better.
Freaking the border. What breach? No, wait, are you referring to the very, very good wall that I built? Okay, sorry. I don't want to get political.
Too late. So we cut back to Ezra.
This is an entertainment thing where we say dumb things and jokes.
We're not actually serious.
Go.
Okay, so Ezra and Rayla, Callum, and Ellis journey up the mountain, and Rayla and Callum are just like, we're not going to encounter any monsters. Nothing's happened yet.
Then they see monsters.
Yeah, then there's this giant... It's that classic, oh, there's nothing here. And they actually point out that trope that... They actually point out that trope of saying that nothing's going to happen. They're just like, and Callum's just like, yeah, but that only happens in stories and stuff like that. And then they find this dead giant creature.
And not so dead.
No, it's dead.
You're dead.
But there's always a bigger fish.
To me.
And,
bigger fish.
Yeah, and then this giant leech thing sneaks up behind them and chases them around. And they had formed a plan to combat any monsters, but the only problem is this giant worm threw off their groove. So they tried to execute their plan, but the hasty execution ruined everything, and they almost all died. But they didn't. They all escaped. They became separated. So one group ended up on top of a giant rock, and the other half ended up in a tree. So they try and figure out what they're going to do to like get back down to the ground, and they decide they're just going to wait for the worm to leave. And eventually it does leave, so they go back down, and they continue on their journey, being very cautious, though, so that they don't encounter it. So that they don't, like, encounter the monster again. But, of course, they do encounter the monster.
But they're ready this time. Plan doesn't go to crap.
That's right. And Callum uses his new lightning spell that he has acquired, and it works
Cast
just
that force
fine.
lightning.
Yeah. Unlimited power! So, they...
Just expecto patronums that crap.
Yeah, and they kill a live animal on children's television. It's great.
That actually is really neat. I like how they don't shy away from stuff like that.
Yeah. Did I notice a splatter too, or am I just remembering things wrong?
I'm pretty sure there's some sort of blood.
Sick. Okay. And then the episode ends back in the dungeon with Lord Viren, and he's just like, okay, you know what? I'm tired of interrogating this elf. So he's just like, okay, I'm done with you. And he pulls out his magic wand, and he casts this dark magic spell on the elf and imprisons him in a gold coin. But there's a cost to it. It makes Lord Viren look like some kind of...
Like he's made out of wood or something almost.
Makes him look like he's some weird elf-human hybrid now. So he's like kind of purple, and he's got like this like weird pattern on his face now, and his eyes are like all dark. And he
looks really cool, actually.
Yeah, he actually looks like a villain now.
Yeah, it's well animated.
Yeah, so he walks out of the chamber, and the interpreter guy is just like, oh no, my suspicions were right. There is something wrong with you. And for the first time in the entire series, he actually looks worried and not completely oblivious as to everything that's going on.
I think there's a plot, like there's going to be a through line about this guy being just super optimistic, though.
Maybe his parents died when he was very young, and
he never learned cynicism.
He got thrown into a really deep state of depression. And after a failed attempt to take his own life, he decided he would be more optimistic about life, because life is a blessing and no one should take it for granted. And from that moment on, he just decided to be overly optimistic about literally everything.
Okay, so thanks for listening to... Oh man, that was so sad. Thanks for listening to episode 4 of Toon In here on WackMatters. So if you liked our show and you have a little bit extra time, the best way to help out this show, help us get sponsorships, help us kind of have a little bit of clout to throw around in the podcast world, is to use those precious life minutes of yours to go give us a rating on iTunes, 5-star rating.
5 stars.
It actually, no joke, it helps us out more than anything else can really for this site. We also, a different way, if you guys want to kind of save some time and just get that money directly to us, there is a donate button on the side of the webpage at WackMatters. Slightly above that donate button at one of the top tabs is a different button. So if you rather, instead of just donating money to us, you want to get a little bit something for the money you're spending, you can also buy
a t-shirt.
There's a merch link up at the top of our site.
You know what'd be sick?
What?
Hoodies. We're getting into that colder weather.
Oh, dude, hoodies might sell like hotcakes. Good point. Okay, frig.
Getting into those winter months.
This is a business. We will have this meeting as soon as the episode ends. We'll talk about Michael. We'll talk about this with my brother before we leave.
Maybe some underwear too.
We also get those long johns. It's cold out.
I just meant regular boxers. WackMatters
Gross. Boxers,
hey,
am I right?
But that would be a conversation starter. Envisioning that just threw me off.
Because
I don't. In order for it to be a conversation starter.
Hey, real quick. Michael, cut out this next part, but I have a very good joke. Because I think it's very good to have a pair of underwear, especially right over the crotch area, that says the word WackMatters. I think that's saying something about... That's implying
Hey girl, can I show you why WackMatters?
That's implying something about your zone. that I don't think you want implied about your zone. Like, hey, it's freaking buck wild.
I was thinking more of like a repeated pattern kind of thing, just the WackMatters logo in like a repeated, like semi-random pattern across like just on a pair of white boxers.
It's freaking buck wild down there, man, but it still matters.
I can't breathe. Okay.
Also, Karsten.
Yes.
You're illiterate, correct?
If I say no, can I get sponsored?
Karsten, no, okay, hold on. Karsten, we haven't really done this because this show is about a thing, but we also do what is called improv comedy here on the show sometimes too, where one of us will create a bit, and the trick to improv comedy is you say yes and. So I'm making a bit where you're supposed to be illiterate. Are you ready?
But I'm not illiterate. I am a very intelligent person whose
Karsten,
intellect
please.
is vastly superior to that of your own.
Please, Karsten. Please. Karsten, you're illiterate, correct?
Yes, and you're blind.
Okay, you're not wrong. Okay, dang it. I closed my eyes to simulate blindness for no reason. So, for people who are illiterate like Karsten, or maybe people on the go, or who are just kind of super busy about life, maybe you don't have time to sit down and read a book, but after you listen to our podcast, you're like, hey, I listen to Toon In, I listen to Life, So What You Rate It, what else am I supposed to do with this free time? My ears have a void. One thing that you can fill them with is an audiobook from audible.com. WackMatters has been sponsored by audible.com, so there's a link that we posted in the description and a link on the website where you can go to audible.com/WackMatters. And if you get that free 30-day subscription, we will get some kickback from that. So if you are just kind of a big fan of stories and you listen to a lot of other podcasts or things like this, once you run out of our content, feel free to go and use that. Get your 30-day free trial. And here we like to kind of give a quick book recommendation. Do you have any good books you like, Karsten?
Yes, I do.
If you're too on the spot, I have one.
I have one.
Okay,
it's
go
called
for it.
One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish by Dr. Seuss.
Okay, that's a
I can kind of understand half the words.
Okay, you're illiterate. I forgot. The good. Yeah, I see. Yes, and too good. The book series, the Artemis Fowl book series, is really interesting, and I recommend it. It's about a child kind of crime lord, and there's some cool, fun fantasy elements to it. It's a really neat book series. We super recommend it. So, if you have time, try to check that out with that Audible subscription. Thanks for listening. I'm your host, Marcus.
And I'm illiterate.
And that's my co-host, Karsten. And we want you just to remember to tune in next time. Okay, wait.
Same tune time, same tune channel.
Ready?
Tune in next time.